Greetings to you in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. In life, we all have friends. We all need friends. For some people have lots of friends. Some are very selective. Now, I'm not talking about Facebook or Instagram or Twitter friends. I'm talking about friends uh, we meet daily or often. I'm talking about friends that we see face to face. Now, the kind of friends that we choose or the kind of friends that we have will have a tremendous influence over our life. Actually, they will determine the quality of life that we have. We may not realize it, but our friends have they exert a lot of influence over our lives. I'll give you an example. Now, if your friends, if your friends are all very godly people, godly, and I'm not talking about a priest. I'm just saying that your friends are very godly people who go to church and who read their Bible, who try to please God in every area of their lives. So when you face a problem, when you, for example, if you are you're having a serious problem with your marriage, so you have been struggling with your marriage and you don't know what to do, and it has really gone down, 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 rock bottom, and so if you have these godly friends, if you they'll ask, hey, what's wrong with you, because they can sense it. And when you share your marital problem, they will definitely say, we'll pray for you. And they may not take the Bible and preach to you, but they will uh, very gently guide you, and they will give you the biblical perspective of a good marriage. And they will give you good advice, because their only intention would be to save your marriage. Their only intention is to see you having a happy life, because they are godly people. They want to see the best. They want to see you enjoying a fullness of life. But if you have friends, shall I say, kakimino, so if you go and talk to them about your marital problem, what do you think they will advise? What will their advice be? I can assume they'll say, hey, don't worry about all this stuff. Hey, just come with us, let's go and have a drink. So of course, over the drinking session, you might be just pouring out your frustration and anger, disappointment, and of course, you'll just drink and drink and drink, and of course, once you're drunk, the problem does not exist. And then what happens? Next day, when you're sober, the problem comes back knocking at the door. So you go with them again and get drunk. So for them, hey, forget about your wife, huh? Let's forget about your wife, huh? Forget about your children. Let's go and have a drink. No, what I'm trying to say is, the friends that we have, uh, the friends that we choose, they have a tremendous impact on our life, the quality of life that we live. Today, I want to share with you briefly about Rehoboam, the son of King Solomon. Actually, when you look at King Solomon, he was the wisest man, because he asked God for wisdom to govern the people of Israel. But by the time he died, he really made a mess. Now we know that he had 700 wives and 300 concubines. and he went around building shrines for all these wives and concubines, and he lost the favor of God, and so the country got into mess, economic mess. He really got the economic mess. So now Solomon had died. His son has succeeded. Will you please turn to verse 3 of 1 Kings chapter 12. 1 Kings chapter 12 verse 3. Now the people of Israel, they are going to see King Rehoboam, who had succeeded his father Solomon. So they sent for Jeroboam, and he and the whole assembly of Israel went to Rehoboam and said to him, now they're making an appeal. So what the appeal? Your father put a heavy yoke on us, but now lighten the harsh labor and the heavy yoke he put on us, and we will serve you. That's why, as I said earlier, Solomon, by the time he died, the country was in a real economic mess. So it really taxed the people and become so heavy. And now they are appealing to Rehoboam, hoping that you will lighten that yoke or the burden. So Rehoboam, verse 5. Rehoboam answered, go away for 3 days and then come back to me. So the people went away. What kind of wise decision? Don't you think? Instead of straight away giving them a verdict or saying, no, okay, this is what I'll do for you. He said, please go away and give me some time. Sometimes in life, that's a very wise thing to do. Sometimes we can be pressured into making a decision. Sometimes people, they want immediate answers. But sometimes we just have to put our feet down and say, no, I cannot make a decision now. I need to consult some people. I need to pray over this before I can give you an answer. But the world is moving so fast. People say, no, I want an answer now. Please give me an answer now. But I think this is something that we learn from Rehoboam. He said, hey, please hold on. Please hold on. Let me think through. Let me sleep over it. Let me consult my wife, or consult my husband, or consult my children, consult some of my friends. So it's always a good move. To always take some time to make before making a major decision. So now the king Rehoboam, right? Then King Rehoboam consulted the elders. He consulted the elders, who had served his father Solomon during his lifetime. And verse 7, right? They replied, if today. Now these are wise men. These are wise men, very elderly. They said, if today you will be a servant to these people and serve them and give them a favorable answer, they will always be your servant. Now, I read for you from 2 Chronicles chapter 10, verse 7. 2 Chronicles 10, verse 7. So they replied, if you will be kind to these people, now if you will be kind, in Kings it said, if you will be a servant and please them, and in Kings it said, and I'll serve. Now, so the wise men, they knew, because they had served under King Solomon, and they know the mess the nation was. People were being burdened with unnecessary tax, the economic mess. So they advised him, very elderly people, a lot of experience. And there's a lot of difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge can be acquired. Wisdom, you learn from life experience. And this where sometimes when you talk about parents, when they advise their children, the children cannot understand how come my parents, my father or my mother cannot understand me. Because the youngsters, they are full of energy, and they have been reading, they've been hearing, they've been saying, but the parents have already gone through that journey. So they say, they might not tell that their children have gone, they say, I've gone through. So they are this wisdom. They say, hey, please don't do this, don't do that, because it might be very interesting. It might be full of excitement, but the end can be very disastrous. So wisdom. So the wise men, they say, be be kind. Give them a nice answer. That's why it says in 1 Kings, if you will be a servant, be a servant to them. I know we know that you are the king, but be a servant to them, and to these people, and serve them. Be pleasing and be kind, as what 2 Chronicles says. I think it's a very wise advice, very wise. But then Rehoboam wanted to consult another group. Verse 8 is, but Rehoboam rejected the advice the elders gave him and consulted the young men who had grown up with him. And this is what the young men advised. Verse 10. The young men who had grown up with him replied, tell these people who have said to you, your father put a heavy yoke on us, but make our yoke lighter. Tell them, my little finger is thicker than my father's waist. So Rehoboam must be real fat. He must be really fat. And that's why I say, my father laid on you a heavy yoke. I will make it even heavier. The kind of advice the young advisors were giving the king. My father scourged you with whips. I will scourge you with scorpions. Now you don't need to be wise to know this is foolish advice. Now sometimes we are so carried away with our friends. Sometimes we cannot see the foolishness in the advice that they are giving us. Now there are 2 groups of people. One, the elderly, and then we have another group, young, just experiencing life, and both of them gave advice. And King Rehoboam rejected the advice of the elders, and he actually told the people of Israel what his young advisors, his friends, had advised him, and the kingdom was divided into Judah and Israel. Of course, it was God's plan, but here we are talking about King Rehoboam and his advisors, team of advisors. Now, I have been a priest for a long time. I started my ministry when I was 24 years old. That's very young, And but one thing I've learned in life, I always make sure that the elderly are there in the MDC or PCC, Missionary District Council or Parochial Church Council. On many occasions, some of them have come and said, Padri, can you please release us, because we're already getting old. And my advice to them was always, Uncle, please stay. Uncle, please stay. I need your advice. Because I know that I may be a priest, but they have gone through life, and they sometimes some of the things that they say is you cannot imagine. Now some of the things that they say. Now when you if you have the humility to accept and say, that's a good advice, and then implement, or just listen to them. Actually, you save yourself from a lot of trouble. I know in my life. I like in my former church. I always tell them, no, uncle, you must say. Some of them they say, Padri, I'm in difficulty in driving. I say, uncle, I know your difficulty, but the church needs you. And because of these elderly people, now we were able to keep the church together. Of course, young people, they come up with lots of ideas. They want to, let us do this, let us do that. So this way we say in the PC there must be a balance of the seniors and the young people. So we can keep the church together and move forward together. Now, if you want to move forward in the right direction, then make sure your friends are good friends. You have chosen the right friends. Now it's good to have wise people. Now I just quote for you a couple of verses from Proverbs. Turn to Proverbs chapter 12. Proverbs chapter 12. I read for you verse 15. The way of a fool seems right to him. That's why I said right at the beginning, your friends are all kakimino. They think that's the best way of releasing your tension, stress. And they think that's the right way. And sometimes people, everyone around might say, hey, that's not the right thing. But I say, sir, the way of a fool seems right to him. But a wise man listens to advice. In the case of Rehoboam, he was foolish. He was totally foolish because he felt the decision that he was making or taking after consulting his young advisors was the right decision. And that caused the division of the country. But a wise man listens to advice. And it's always good to listen to advice. Now, if you want to prosper, you want to have a good life, it's always good to listen to advice. Now, it doesn't matter who the person is. Now, listen. Now, this way they say, thank you, auntie, for the advice. Thank you, uncle, for the advice. And then we digest the advice and we pray over it. And then allow God, the Holy Spirit, to guide us to make the right decision. So always be open to advice. Always be open to advice. Especially when you know that the person who's giving you advice is a senior person who's well respected. People look up to the person. Now today a lot of associations, even countries are in a mess because they have young advisors who do not put the interests of the nation or the individual before them. Now for them it is sometimes when people give advice, it's for their own benefit. They don't care what happens to the recipient. As long as they benefit and the person who giving the advice benefit, it's fine. But we need to, in the sense, we must be careful. We must have the discerning spirit. We pray God grant me the discernment, grant me the spirit of discernment, the gift of discernment, so that I will be able to discern whether this advice, this person is from you. So when God says, yeah, then we listen to the advice. We must listen to advices. And chapter 13, verse 20. He who walks with the wise grows wise. So you walk with the wise. That's why I say if your company and they're all wise people, godly people, then they will definitely influence. Definitely influence the way that you think. They'll definitely have some kind of influence. Slowly, your life will start changing. So they will not preach to you, as I said right in the beginning, but their lifestyle, the way they talk, will slowly remove uh, your life. And it says, but fools detest, it says, but a companion of fools suffers a harm. So if you choose to have fools as your companion, kaki minum lah, kaki judi lah, kaki perempuan lah, if you have this kind of friends, you'll definitely ruin your life. You have no one else to blame but yourself for making the wrong choice of friends. So today, I just want to a devotion. I just want to, I pray that you will choose the right friends. If you know that your friends are not giving you the right advice and they're actually pulling you down, causing more damage to your life, your spiritual journey, your family, keep away from them. Just keep away from them. It can be very difficult, but keep away from them. Now, let me read this verse and conclude. He who walks with the wise grows wise. King Rehoboam chose not to walk with the wise, the elders. But a companion of fools suffers harm. He chose to keep companion with the young advisors who are actually fools, who gave her foolish advices. And it brought great harm to him as well as to the nation. So the choice is yours. You choose, because nobody's going to force it on you. Friends, we make our decision. We choose who our friends are going to be. Also, I hope you will choose the right friends, wise people, and listen to advice given by wise people, usually seniors who may not be as educated as you are, but they've gone through life, and usually when they give advice, it is always for the good of us. God bless you. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.